Hi everyone, this is daveac and this is my vblog 167 for Friday the 30th of September 2011, and it's hot. Yes, a hot day in Manchester. Who'd have believed it? We're having a little mini heat wave here in the UK, even in Manchester. My daughter had stayed over last night, came to the quiz with us, went into Manchester, back on the train with her today, and it was about 80 degrees, about 27 degrees centigrade, 80 degrees Fahrenheit in Manchester, and it was a lovely, lovely day. About the third nice day we've had, and it's projected the 1st of October tomorrow to possibly be the hottest October day for 100 years. It could easily get up to 82 or whatever tomorrow, maybe even they say it could possibly touch 90 in the odd place. But wonderful weather, but of course we're already complaining about it. But yes, hot day in Manchester. Well, I'm going to keep this vlog reasonably compact. We will end with a wine as per usual. I'm going to try and keep it under 15 minutes, although I have had notification now from YouTube that I now can have videos longer than 15 minutes. But I think I'm trying to stick to 15 minutes as my guideline, and also to keep the file size down to a reasonable amount. So let's get on with it, shall we? Enough wittering about. Well, the podcasting news as per usual. Well, luckily it looks as though I'm coming to the end of the busiest 10 weeks that I've had podcasting, you know, where we were doing along with the Culton Collective at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on TalkShoe ID 54821. Followed by the Hitchhiker's Guide to British Sci-Fi, which was doing all 10 episodes of Torchwood Miracle Day, and of course Podshot Live, that's also been covering Series 6 of Doctor Who. Well, this coming Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, indeed, the Culton Collective will be talking about the final episode, The Wedding of Riversong, and we're going to try and start dead on 2 because there's a couple of constraints. Ian the Sixth Doctor is going back to his acting work. He's got this auditions weekend that he's attending, so he unfortunately won't be able to make the show live. Hopefully he'll be able to send in some audio feedback that I can play during the show, but basically it will be me trying to start the show as soon as I can on time, because we've got until 4 p.m. We've got a 2-hour window before I say to people that I'm closing the room, because I will be going over to Doctor Who Podshot Live. Their show ID is 23358 to help Lewis out on the final episode of Doctor Who Series 6 Part 2, again, the episode The Wedding of Riversong. I should also say at this point that the last episode of Closing Time, Podshot episode 256 is now up in the feeds. Of course, the Culton Collective feed, our episodes go up almost within half an hour of the show ending, and in the middle of the week, of course, we put up our commentary on Closing Time. You can find all the details at the Culton Collective blog page, and that's culton.com. And of course, the best place to download probably is iTunes. I was also busy because I'm still trying to build up my wine podcast. That's the Big and Fruity Wine podcast. And one end towards that today, what I've done, I have a Big and Fruity Twitter address, a Twitter feed, but I've extended it now and signed it up with TwitPic, so that when I have a wine, like I do have a wine every one of these, I'm usually drinking a wine when I do my Big and Fruity Wine podcast. And I like to tweet a picture of the bottle I'm drinking, because obviously it's not video. Here I can actually, show you the bottle. Okay, and that is twitpic.com/big and fruity. And you'll see for each of the episodes I've done up to now, 5 episodes. Remember, I do this on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's 10 p.m. here in the UK, and that is TalkShoe ID 112272. And that's the end of the podcasting news. Now, I haven't got a classical music today, but I'm being treated to Mahler's Symphony No. 1 here with the Berlin. Listen to this. This is the Berlin Philharmonic with Simon Rattle conducting. It's on BBC 4 here in the UK now. Beautiful music. I was listening to a little bit of that before I started. I thought, I'll just play a little bit of that in lieu of a DVD. Now, I did say I'd do a book this week, and I have chosen my next book, and here it is. Clifford Simak, Why Call Them Back from Heaven. But I haven't started reading it because I'm still reading my Origins book, not quite finished that. So hopefully I will be doing that next week and just talking a little bit about it. I don't really give a review. It's more a case of a recommendation or not a recommendation. But what I did do last week is I tried to do a Doctor Who DVD. But I'll tell you what, before we start that, I should just get one or two little tech items out of the way. Then we can enjoy a little bit of Doctor Who together. Just to say that if you are using Firefox as your browser, there will have been an update yesterday or today for Firefox 7. But if, like me, on your second, well, on my second PC, I'm on the beta channel for that, you get even the newer updates, and I've just downloaded the new update for Firefox 8. So that is now just out on the beta feeds. I should also just say that if you're in the UK as well, there's been yet another update to the BBC iPlayer desktop. It's where I watch quite a lot of Click and a lot of the other programs that I might miss at the weekend. So there's been updates to that. So, wow. Yes, before I go to Doctor Who, I should also say that with the final episode of Doctor Who on this Saturday, we're in for a real treat, because straight after it is the very first episode of Series 4 of Merlin. Yes, that's starting, so we're having a double dose of sci-fi here in the UK on Saturday. And the other nice news about that is that Merlin has now moved to HD, so it should look extremely good. Looking forward to that. I think they've already decided that it's going to be Series 4 and 5. I think they've signed up for both those two series, most of the main cast. Okay, well, it's coming up to 8 minutes. Let's go back. So it's hopefully Doctor Who, Day of the Daleks, a third Doctor story, of course, starring John Pertwee. And let's just move the camera and let's see if we can play a little bit of it. Now, this is from the first... Let's get that sorted. This is from the first part of the story, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the DVD later.
So I do not propose to ignore the matter.
Play.
I'm putting my best man onto it. As a matter of fact, I was just about to brief him when you rang.
Doctor, why don't you...
No.
It's so nearly there. I can only cut out that override on the dematerialization circuit. Let me see those figures.
Doctor, I thought the TARDIS was working again.
What gave you that idea?
Oh, being dragged off to an alien planet 500 years in the future, for example? Oh, you know, all that business with the miners and the colonists.
My dear Joe, the TARDIS was being operated then under remote control by the High Council of the Time Lords.
Well, if it worked for them...
I don't want it to work for them. I want it to work for me. No one's going to turn me into an interplanetary puppet. Yes, of course. Why didn't I think of that before? Yes, of course. I remember now. Look, don't worry, my dear. I know you're alarmed, but you needn't be. Yes, well, I think that should do it. Why on earth I never realized. Oh, no, what are you doing here? Well, I'm not here, don't worry. Well, That is, in a sense.
And I'll have to stop it there, yes. The lovely Joe Grant as the assistant there. So let's get this back into focus. And the great thing about this DVD, which cost me, by the way, £13 here in the UK, although I believe people in America have got it for as little as $13. £13 is probably nearer to $20. But there are two versions of Day of the Dalek on here, with the one with it's been upgraded with new effects and so on. So what I've just shown is a little clip from the first disc. I'll at least go back to this next week for another little look at it, and then I'll give you a little bit of an idea of whether I think the DVD is worth buying. Yes, it is. Buy it. Okay, it's 10, nearly 11 minutes. Let's go to the wine, David, and it's been waiting and ready. It's called Balance. Yes, it's got a pink elephant on it. Cabernet Sauvignon and Shiraz 2010 from the Western Cape, South Africa. And we've got a focus for me, aren't you? There we are. On life's eternal seesaw, the art of staying on top requires a fine balancing act. Freeze frame. A smooth medium body wine with beautiful berry, plum, strawberry flavours, supported by a touch of French oak. And it's been poured out here, and I have indeed been getting little wafts of fruit coming over, and it's actually got quite a ruby red colour here. It's not, I haven't got any plain white paper to just put behind it. Oh, there we are. But you can see it's quite it's almost a ruby red colour. Very nice indeed. Let's have a little taste. And it has got, it's not an overly complex wine, but it definitely has got that added element of that little telling of French oak coming through at the end. It's not an expensive wine. I think it's from the Co-op. It cost me, I think, £5.40, which is $80, I suppose. I think it was slightly reduced from £6, so it's quite a good bargain from the Co-op. 13.5%, and yes, it's quite nicely balanced. Let's have one more little taste. I think that'll go down rather well as a midweek wine. That's nice. Not any particular brilliance. Not as nice as some of the wines I've tasted, but certainly as good as most midweek wines. And I will enjoy drinking the rest of this. And I will probably be drinking it when I'm on Mike's quiz show later on tonight on Radio Free Cambridge. Well, with that, we'll have done it in 13 minutes. I've just got time to mention one more sci-fi. If you get a chance to see a new sci-fi series called Terra Nova, do give it a look out. It starts off with a lovely feature-length, movie-length opener. And when I was watching this, two things occurred to me. One, I wish Torchwood had started off, Torchwood Miracle Day had started off with one movie-length opener instead of in two halves. And secondly, a description of Terra Nova is Primeval meets Outcasts meets Avatar. And if you know those three programs, you'll have a pretty good idea of what it is. So look out for it. And don't forget, of course, as well as the final episode of Doctor Who, we've got Merlin to look forward to on Saturday. So with that, everybody, catch you next week. Thank you very much for downloading and watching, and I hope you'll carry on doing so. And with that, this is daveac saying that's it for episode 167. Catch you next week. Bye.